Okay, we're fully live. Hello, audience at home. I spaced that out so that something very funny could happen to the audio.
No.
But we're going. Hi, how you doing? So, this is our poll winnerino for this month on Patreon. It was SPYRAL. So, we're here now.
None of you guys can see it, but I literally just, as you were saying that the thing starting up, I spun around in my chair to face the screens. I don't have a cat to pet, sadly.
Yes, big spins, big swings. Also, yes, we'll be listening to Metal Gear music tonight. Actually, so let's start there. So, SPYRAL is an archetype. It was introduced in the technically, was it the late Pendulum era? When was the actual first set? Dark Illusion, I think. Let me double check that. Yes. So, SPYRAL is a world premiere archetype. It is a TCG exclusive, originally. It was introduced in the TCG version of Dark Illusion, which is one of the late Pendulum era sets. This is also the set, by the way, where Subterror comes from, so this is a real banger when it comes to world premieres.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a couple of interesting things to talk about. One, normally, especially since we've been talking about deck build packs, when we talk about decks on Portrayal, there's usually something wrong with them. Some of them are you know, deeply entrenched fan favorites. Some of them are actually meta-successful, though many of those are, you know, like a decade ago for some of the stuff we've talked about. But SPYRAL 1, actually good. Not immediately, but when they got their Link 2, because they actually got that in a timely manner. Probably because it was a world premiere archetype, so they couldn't put him in a weird set. But that was tucked into Circuit Break was their Link 2. They've been very good. They were highly meta-successful. I've got to be honest, I don't know why SPYRAL isn't.
Ah.
Nope. Let's get fucking a Kodak call right now.
Probably never put telemarketer.
I don't know why SPYRAL isn't more popular in places like Master Duel. I guess because Master Duel has enough of a rotating, like... Because new cards keep coming out and Konami adds like 4 billion ultra rares, which they will never ban. Looking at you, latest ban list. Seriously? Stovey to 2? Do you think that's going to stop me? Do you think that will stop the traps? But, like, full power SPYRAL is, I believe, accessible in the OCG and Master Duel. And it's just not played.
Also, I think like Cash is also just kind of a...
Oh yeah, Cash is a dead deck.
Kind of,
Cash is a crap deck.
Yeah.
They've basically killed all their consistency by hitting all of their pots and other weird banish cards. So it makes it so the deck is bricky as fuck. That will probably make some weird Kashtira engines come in. But they haven't done what the TCG and I think eventually the OCG did and just take a Rise Heart out back and shoot him. Instead, they just made it so your deck plays like dog shit, which... I gotta be honest, I kind of prefer the method where we just kill the card that makes the deck, like, an asshole to play against. Though, also, I would strongly debate that we may need to do something about Kashtira Fenrir, because he is, like, the most accessible monster in every deck that isn't Kashtira. I run him in both Vanquish Soul and Lab. He replaced my use of Labyrinth Archfiend as just, hey, how do I get rid of a big guy? Summon Fenrir, search Fenrir, attack. Banish guy, problem solved. Yeah, like it's so weird to see everything going on with Master Duel's meta right now. I am following the MCS series pretty regularly, and there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. But like in the TCG, one of their cards, Master Plan, still banned, completely forbidden, and this probably keeps SPYRAL locked out of being a high power meta contender. But they've been popular over the years, and they've gone kind of up and down. So this is going to be an interesting comment, and I do want to kind of dovetail back because this archetype's not actually that big. I think because, unfortunately, their Link era support really blew up. They've gotten like one new card in the last, 2 or 3 years, which was just Double Agent to promote, the 25th anniversary. So, like, cool, but not really going to do a lot. I mean, we'll look at him, but I do want to circle back around to what is a good deck, because that really popped off late last week in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. But I do want to talk about Spyral's theming, as you can see from the card art here of Spiral Rescue Mission, or Spiral Mission Rescue, I should say. But actually, I think this is Recapture. Some of the names are a little similar, and I wish we were better about that. But so
Recapture, I think.
Yeah, this is Recapture. So people like to say that Spiral is a Metal Gear reference because Konami prints this card game. I do not really think that. First of all, we already have a weird Metal Gear reference card. We have the tactical espionage guy. Like, there's much like, their Dandy Gamblers and stuff. There's a couple of references that are tucked in. But definitely reading their lore, this feels much more like a commentary on, like, to kind of paraphrase something Axe said offline, this is very much a Japanese version of a James Bond movie. Like, if you take the rough plot structure of a James Bond story, but fill it with, the kind of, like, weird gadgets and other, funny quirks you'd see in, like, Japanese TV, that's really where Spiral gets. Which is funny, because this is a world premiere archetype, but it definitely feels like they were trying to make a world premiere deck that would appeal to both, the wider TCG community and back to the OCG. Which is not always how this works. I feel like as much as the Japanese people love Star Wars, I feel like Cosmo was definitely like a deep cut for the Western fan base. I actually don't know how Japan feels about Dante's Inferno.
Oh, sorry about that. I got called away for a secret mission.
Yeah.
Totally related to my income. Don't worry about it.
You gotta. I said you got a codec call. It's the joke we made.
Yep.
But like,
Colonel.
Subterror, I feel like, is an archetype that like appeals to both Japanese and Western fans, because that's like a, a send up of like old dungeon crawler RPGs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Western and Japanese people like it. It's all about being face down.
Yeah. So
So
there's
you can rest.
a lot of a lot of people assume it's directly related to like I said, to Metal Gear. Even the Yugipedia, which is usually a little more sane with their comparisons, has like copy pasted the fandom wikis completely outlandish comparisons. The Big Red is not the cardboard box, guys. But it's funny. As a longtime major Metal Gear enjoyer, I can tell you a lot of these comparisons are a little goofy. The Spirals are definitely way more the James Bond, like, smoothing, schmoozing, gadgets kind of stuff, and less, Solid Snake. I've been smuggled into the area of operation. I have no guns. The only thing I brought was the cigarettes I smuggled in my stomach. Let's go. Kind of a thing. But yeah, before we actually get into this, and I should say, I tried to like break this out by waves of support, but again, because there's not actually that many Spirals, and we're going to talk about literally all of them, including the 3 gears that are spell traps and the 3 missions. Other than like starting with Super Agent as the start, because it's one of those decks, Chad. It's a lot easier for me to just collate them in alphabetical order. But, yeah, there was I don't know if you guys know about this, because I don't think you pay much attention to Yugi Twitter, but there was a little bit of a pop-off last week, because the hardest-working spider in the business, Dual Logs, posted one of his failed archetypes or failed mechanics videos about Ursa Arctic. And Ursartic's strongest soldier popped off a little on Twitter. And we're like, how can we say this deck failed? At the end of the video, Dual Logs even says that in the OCG, it got a single top. Basically, everybody was like, okay, homie, you cannot be this high on Copium. Ursartic is not a meta contender deck. It has, like, no tops in the TCG. It has almost always been kind of, like, derided as one of those, weird deck build packs offset decks. We don't need to cover it because we've already talked about all the cards that are in Ursartic, so you guys can hear our opinions directly at the time. But I think it did start a decent conversation, and I saw relevant tweets, I think, from MBT, Joseph, and Hardleg, who is also Joe, were basically like, and I think we've said this before, but I'd like to reiterate it. When we're talking about a deck being quote-unquote bad, most modern decks, like anything released after the Pend era, is probably okay. Most of them are fairly consistent. They have a game plan. Like, they know what they're doing, and they usually have cards that are designed to make that work. So most of those decks are not quote-unquote bad to play. Are you going to win games with them is a very different matter. And so I've seen some conversations about some language. And I think in general, like, when we're talking about if a deck is good, great, or anything, when we're talking about stuff on Fail Portrayal, we're talking about decks if they are calling them good. They are decks that are actually consistent and high quality. We talked about a lot of dual terminal decks, okay? A lot of those decks are just bad, even with some legacy support. They just do not function well. But we're talking about decks that have meta tops you would have seen at competitive tables, you would have seen taking competitive prizes, and that people thus would know about. I often talk about, rogue decks or fan favorite decks, which kind of edge towards the casual tier, decks that people know and talk about and play, but do not be well represented at top cuts at tournaments. And then there are, the decks that nobody has ever heard of except, the strangest of players, pet decks. Listen, chat, I'm a pet decker. I understand. Dual Logs has already destroyed me because I think one of his first ever failed mechanics videos was talking about how Red Eyes is a horrible mess that Konami has had no cogent design philosophy on for literally 25 years. And Master Duel won't give me my single best card because they're scared of it, like little baby men.
And cowards.
They are cowards. I was playing Labyrinth. I got fucking locked out by Pachycephalo Moon Mirror Shield in Platinum today. And could do nothing because I just didn't draw Compulse or anything. I just drew all 3 copies of Welcome Labyrinth. That sucked. And they started it by evenly matching me. You guys won't allow people to play Dark Dragoon, but you'll do nothing about that deck. And even though I reported that guy for both slow play and cheating, because you can't play evenly in shitty Floodgate decks. That's against the rules in my head. Nothing's going to happen to that guy. And nothing's going to happen to me, because I don't know if Konami reads reports. But it sucks.
Reading, I don't think they even read their own cards.
And that's the shit that shouldn't be allowed in Master Duel. Lockout Floodgate decks where, you literally can't do anything. And it's like, well, I'm going to play it out because, 1, I'm going to test your commitment to actually kill me. And 2, if I draw the right card, it's fucking over. It wasn't over. Like I said, I drew 3 Welcome Labyrinth in a row, which is a card that requires a special summon, which you cannot you can't activate with Pachycephalo on the board. And one of my draws was EEV, which also requires you to have a big dark monster. But anyway, I'll have more fun when I get kicked back down to gold in 2 days. But yeah, so, I understand that y'all have pet decks. We've talked about our pet decks before. Loth is the master of awful pet decks. That sometimes he can still... Off-camera Loth will obliterate us. He will summon a giant malefic dragon who's going to do, the fucking Charizard seismic toss and throw us into the earth.
Yeah. Off camera though, not on
Yes.
camera. It never happens.
I feel like Axe, you are drawn more towards decks that are. You have pet decks, but they tend to be better quality decks just because you like consistency in your card game.
I like to be able to do the thing.
Yeah, so
But that's
you
because I'm too familiar with the unbearable bitter taste of failure all the goddamn time. So I like to not have failure in my own deck.
you gravitate away from jank decks because you feel much more comfortable playing something that's consistent.
I like trains. I'm also a peeps. I'm also a peeps. I'm also a closeted peeps, I guess I put it.
I
I
will say
like
this,
Only
dumb
about Earth
bullshit.
Machines. I don't think you are as much of a lunatic as Peeps is.
Look, I'll say this though. Phantasm Spiral and Pachi is a great dumb deck.
Yeah, and I
Really
appreciate the
don't- I don't
ability
know,
to get out of there.
Does
Jank.
it need to be water or is it just normals?
Normals.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
normals. You can do all
It
kinds
also
of
has the
shit.
pendulum
fine.
package because they're normals.
If anything, they really should make more on Pachi cards just because why the fuck not?
Yeah, why the fuck not? Everyone else is getting it. Come on. Memento and Pachi.
Yeah, there's
I
a
mean, it
lot
would
of
work.
there's a lot of weird shit out there. So I have to step off for a second. I'll be right back. But then we'll actually get into the archetype. But I want to leave you guys those because I know that's been percolating in the Yugi sphere lately, and I want to leave you guys with those thoughts. And then we immediately got distracted by another dogshit Master Duel ban list that I don't need to describe to you because I mentioned the problems with it already.
Oh wait.
Though Loth, you and I will be happy because Runic fell into one.
Yes! Go burn in the ditch and die, Runic. Fuck you.
Eh?
So I will be right back. I will mute myself. Chat.
There's no point complaining about my problems to you, Axe. What's the
If
point
you-
of complaining to the 1%?
I don't know. I mean, I listen to Cross Master Duel because I just don't have time to keep up with it.
But, Axe, don't worry, I've also dropped Master Duel, mainly because I need space on my fucking SSD.
That's also fair. The game is kind of big.
As I said, Total War Warhammer 3 decided to re-download itself, so I had to free up space for it before it
That's
fixed
fair.
itself.
Be like that sometimes.
I also have to wait for updates because the mod I like to play on Total War Warhammer 3 broke because Creative Assembly released update after update and it broke.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not sure if you've heard about it, there's a great character called, I can't remember his full name, but Greasus, who's basically just a fat ogre on a giant mobility scooter. And there was a bug which caused his speed to become the most highest number possible. So he was nicknamed Greasus Lightning.
Was he a Nurgle? Was he a Nurgle worshiper? Or...
No, he was. That's how
just-
ogres are. Oh hey,
Oh.
Yeah, I see you guys are just chilling, talking about stuff.
I was telling Axe about SSD space, and Aaron is telling me to buy SSD space. Fuck you, Aaron. I don't have the money for it.
I think SSDs are still a little expensive. They're newer, but
Especially
they're
over
getting more stable.
here.
Yeah. That
Remember,
one also, yeah.
my currency is more expensive than yours because
Economics, yeah.
Because they changed shit to make it equivalent, so people can't use other currencies in other countries to save
Yeah,
money.
every time someone says a $60 games, I'm like, yeah, fuck off. We
And
gotta
it
pay
used to be like
100.
that for you.
No, it's 100.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, and also most games aren't 60 anymore. Also, they're like 70.
Which
Some are
means
cheaper.
it's 110.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Anyway, we're here to talk about Spiral. Let me get some
Yes.
cards out.
Yes, sorry. Let's move on. Before I pop a blood vessel.
Also, yes, I agree with my sentiment. Heck, Runic stun decks. Pure Runic is like a weird, funny mill strategy. That's cute, but like
At
Runic
least the game
stun,
will be over at some point.
yeah. Like if they just banish my entire deck, then it's like, well, I've lost. But all right, we're gonna start with the key boy. Also, by the way, this again, this deck is a world premiere, so it was in English first. So you're going to get to find out how reverse localization works. Because we have some fun stuff here. So this is Spiral Super Agent. In Japanese, they translated his name as Spyra Dandy. Once again, letting you know this is not necessarily Metal Gear Solid. Nobody would call Solid Snake dandy. But yeah, this is Super Agent. I like this backdrop effect they do of like the diagrams of all the gadgets he has. You think you can see his gloves back there, his tie. I think they're his watch. I think they're saying he has a tape recorder on him or something. But he's chilling on a rope ladder. He's hanging out. He's got a Bluetooth earpiece. He's got a very nicely made, suit. Though his inner vest has like... He's wearing like pinstripe pants, but I guess is that supposed to be like a lighting effect? Playing across his clothes? It's weird. He has a slightly crazy tie, though. I'm going to guess
I
the
like the
SP.
briefcase.
Yeah, the briefcase is good. That's got the SP logo. I think his belt buckle and his lapel pin also have that logo. So his agency is not subtle.
We're super secret, as like having advertisements fly by.
Yeah. But no, this is good. This is, it's got an action shot. He's, super well dressed. I can see why they wanted to translate it as dandy. But you can see he's got some of the super spy riz.
Yeah. If anyone used to watch like shows back in the day, just all the spy shows, gives big feels of that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which one specifically.
So, SPYRAL Super Agent is an Earth Warrior level 4. He has 1900 attack, 1200 defense. And we're starting with him, one, because a lot of your cards will name check Super Agent being on the field. Again, kind of promoting the James Bond type effect. You need the main guy. But also, he perfectly illustrates how this deck works. If this card's in your hand, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap. Reveal the top cards of your opponent's deck. If you do, special summon this card if it is of that type. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a SPYRAL card, target a spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use each effect of Super Agent once per turn. So, this is SPYRAL's primary effect, which is they get to guess the top of your opponent's deck.
Mm-hmm.
So you will...
They like to live dangerously.
Yes, you declare a sometimes I hear this called super type, but yes, you declare a card super type, monsters, spells, traps, and reveal. Now, ideally, obviously, and there's going to be some cards later that help set this up, you're going to want to know what's on your opponent's deck beforehand anyway. But you can use Super Agent to check, obviously, because while his special summon effect is cool, if you're going first, it doesn't do anything. So you can just, declare him to test and then normal summon him if you need him on board. But he is one of your initial guys in Dark Illusion. He's perfectly minding his own business. And now we're going to flash forward a little. Because this was technically in the next set, but I also think that this card is important. Because we're going to talk about their field spell, because it wasn't in their initial wave, but almost immediately after they came out, SPYRAL got a really great field spell that also makes their deck work. And I think, did Resort see some time on the list? I think it might have. So
it was either Resort or no, it was
Master Plan is
on the
definitely still banned in the TCG, but okay, yes, Martha's saying that Resort got put to 1. Yeah, that makes sense. So you can see Resort again, kind of showing you the SPYRAL Resort, kind of showing you their MI6 type leaning. You've got the big screen where you can see Super Agent and a guy we're going to meet later. They've got screens with graphs and bars. You've got some, computer clickers there. You can see Master Plan from behind to just let you know how spiral her hair is. But, yes, also, Martha's talking about some stuff. I want to bring this up now, but guess what? We're going to play the Guess the Type game a little bit with some SPYRAL and SPYRAL-adjacent cards, because you'd think they'd all be machines or warriors. No. We've got some weird shit. Genuinely, I suspect if Master Plan wasn't released in, if this had actually been a Link-era deck, I wouldn't be surprised if Master Plan wasn't a Cybers. But no. Anyway, Resort's pretty good, but we can't get our perfect detail yet because we don't know who all these people are. Though they have some tiny-ass computers here. Look at those
They
little
got
babies.
the big monitor.
But let's say what SPYRAL Risotto does. So, SPYRAL Resort is a field spell. It has 3 effects. 1, your opponent can't target other SPYRAL cards you control with card effects. Any of them. Fuck you. No targeting. Once per turn. Soft once per turn, by the way. Add a SPYRAL monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during your end phase, shuffle 1 monster from your graveyard into the deck or destroy this card. Yeah, so SPYRAL Resort really exemplifies, like, this is the ultimate sort of Band-Aid field spell, but isn't even a Band-Aid because this deck wasn't even fully released yet. This is literally the second set. So sometimes people ask me, like, hey, how can you tell when Konami is pushing an archetype? I think this counts as pushing. Like, we're trying real hard. You have a targeting protection for just all of your other SPYRAL cards. So your spells, your traps, and your monsters. You have a soft once per turn Rhoda. Just add any guy. Search any motherfucker. And it does have a maintenance cost, but that maintenance cost is to shuffle a guy back. Like, honestly, that's an optional effect that's a positive, unlike the Nouvelet field spell. Like, their thing is to shuffle 2 cards back every end phase as a good cost. I do know that Spirals often will banish or reborn themselves from the graveyard, but keeping a monster in your grave is not that hard. And it's also not even a Spiral monster, it's any monster. So guess what? If you're discarding hand traps and shit, you can recycle those with SPYRAL Resort. So, this card is crazy. This is what everybody wants their field spell to be.
Yeah. I know a few decks I would love to have a great field spell.
Yeah.
And they just went, here, take this. And it's probably one of the reasons why it got limited, because it's like, they went, oh shit.
Well, I'm assuming it probably got limited to 1 because of the soft once per turn. Since terraforming is at 1 or banned in some formats, you no longer need to worry about that because it's harder to search field spells. And unfortunately, unlike Kashtira, you probably can't waste your normal on Planet Pathfinder in Spiral. But now we're going to just talk about all these guys in alphabetical order because, like I said, there aren't actually that many of them, and a lot of them are released tightly together, so we're gonna scooch on through. I think this was after Fairy Dragon was banned, but Fairy Dragon is now legal again, so get ready for some wacky stuff. So this is alphabetically our first card because she doesn't have Spiral in her name. This is Charming Resort Staff. I think this name makes more sense the way they translate it in Japanese, but also is way more awkward. It is quotation marks resort staff charming. So that's like weird. We're like calling this girl, her name is Charming or something, but calling it quote unquote resort staff makes more sense. So you can see a little bit of master plan. You can see Super Agent in the back here, cafe and resort. So obviously this is the cover, you know, the front business for the Spiral Resort, you know.
It's so weird seeing the front bits of like Master Fist's fucking spiral hair just to the side there.
Yeah,
on the left.
Yeah, she's her hair's weird. We'll talk about it later.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
But yeah, no. But yeah, so this is their you know, their front is they have a cafe.
And I think is the bit that she doesn't know, like she's not actually one of like the command staff.
I don't think that's like completely explained because on the one hand I could see her trying to be like the Moneypenny type role, and usually has a secretary named Moneypenny, who, you know, depending on what generation of Bond you're in, is like, you know, there to let James Bond get his flirt on, but also to remind him that, you know, he's got to do work. Oh, God. Sorry, Marth's just saying that when full power Spiral was legal, when they got their link to ancient AFD was also legal. Ugh.
Pain.
Oh, no wonder several of those cards had to go.
Yeah.
Because another reason why this deck was really cool that we're not going to talk about directly, but you should know, was pre-errata Firewall shenanigans. Mean.
I thought it was I thought most of the power was entirely on its own merits, and then I guess Double Helix happened, and then they killed parts of the deck.
Well, yeah. Firewall. There were several decks that could make use of Firewall abuse. Spiral is one of them, especially once they got their link to, and like their field spell's really abusable and stuff. So it's there's a reason why several of these cards saw time on the ban list and were out there. So the short translation of the Master Guide is not very explicit on this. It says beautiful women around Super Agent. It says there's never a time when Super Agent is not surrounded by beautiful women. And it shows Spy Gal Misty, who'll be coming up very shortly, and Charming Resort Staff. Again, that's kind of like loosey-goosey. You know, hey, maybe we can get a Spiral solo mode to clear up some of this stuff.
They'll probably
hey, you know,
cover mostly the stuff involving Sleeper, but yeah.
Also, hey, that's a great way to get Double Agent into the game, Master Duel.
Honestly, yeah, because it's like Double Agent more just exists as like part of the setting and less the storyline.
Yeah, but you know, you can make him a reward if you clear a node. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what our relationship with Charming Resort Staff is, but she exists. He's existing. So, also, hey, chat, since you guys are being active tonight, let's play the type game. What type is Charming Resort Staff?
I'm not gonna.
I think I know. I think. But my guess is either Spellcaster or Psychic.
Yeah, Psychic.
If I had to
that's a
choose
type
one,
you're
I would have guessed Spellcaster. But you know, let chat decide.
Thank you, Barth. Human type.
Fairy. I think she's a dragon, honestly.
That would make this setting a lot more interesting. No, Mr. Dennis Cordell got it. She is a fairy. Also, Keelian in chat got it. Yeah. I guess that's how charming she's supposed to be. She's a literal fucking angel, but yeah, I don't know, man.
What?
No, this is fairy.
Fuck off.
Charming Resort Staff is a light fairy level 3. Also, by the way, she's level 3 with 300 attack and 200 defense. When attack is declared involving a Spiral Super Agent you control on an opponent's face-up monster, you can change that opponent's monster's attack to 0. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, special summon Super Agent from your deck. If Super Agent is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard while this card's in your graveyard, banish it, add Super Agent, or add a Super Agent to your hand. Or return, I should say, which means that it dodges adding. So yeah, Charming Resort Staff is basically just a giant conga line trick to get you into playing more Super Agents. I think their other cards let you do this better, but she certainly has utility. The main problem is that, and the reason why I think this card is problematic is because that first effect she has should probably be a discard effect. You should, like, discard her from your hand like some kind of Honest. And that really puts us in a rough way, because that means you'd have to waste a normal or another special on this.
Yeah.
But I think there's some back and forth here. Like, if this card's destroyed by battle or card effect, summon a Super Agent from your deck is definitely possible to use.
Yeah.
And the banish from graveyard when it's sent, you know, there's utility for this card, but I think a lot of their other leader support makes it, you know, work a lot better. Also, as we've established, she is not a Spiral.
I'm just gonna put this out there, so it's recorded on the internet for posterity. But Marv, that crossover will be dangerous because I'm picturing the dragon maids in their human forms and fancy suits, and it's doing something to me.
Can we let somebody at Konami of America remind them that Helltaker exists?
Yeah. just sit them down and just play it.
Can I get my oh. You can't. I know we can't use hell because this game's for 6 and up. I'm trying to think. What would our
Actually, no.
vibes
It
be?
you take all the various jobs in Underworld. You take basically
Yep.
the executive of the Underworld.
No, Omega, DD Taker.
I mean, yeah, but I'm trying to think of like the pun is some kind of hell business. Just give me the demonic business people.
Advertising.
But we're gonna move on to a card that is another beautiful woman, but is excluded from this archetype because Konami did not future-proof this. Spy Gal Misty.
Oh yeah.
Note that we later have you've seen Master Plan in a few of these. Master Plan is definitely a woman. She is not a spy gal. She is a SPYRAL. It's a very funny pun, but it's bad. It really hurts this card's utility.
Also, because I've noticed actually this in a lot of the cards she's actually in. There's always like shading on her because she's meant to be a double agent.
Yes, it's revealed in the lore that the disc or the intel that the Spiral Resort is trying to capture or recapture. See what I did there? She is trying to sell on her own. So yes, she's always framed in a slightly sinister light.
Hope you don't mind, Omega. I'm sending you a DM because I just found something I think you'll enjoy.
Also, Omega, she reminds me of the main femme fatale lady in Lupin the Third. I can't remember her name.
Fujiko. Yes, actually, I was going to bring up that comparison.
She looks like Fujiko. She looks like Fujiko if she's like in her 40s.
Yeah. I don't know about maybe anime 40s. She does have a mole, but like I think we're trying to draw her that she's definitely an adult woman. Also, Loth, I appreciate you thinking of me. You don't have to DM me. I follow that man. I see that guy's
Oh,
nuts.
I'm lost. Okay.
He
Don't
DM'd me
worry.
something he said. It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is Misty. I definitely feel like again, not that this. I don't think this archetype is super directly Lupin inspired, but they are all very well dressed. So like they've got some Lupin vibes. Give me Spiral Samurai, and then we'll talk.
I don't think you understand. Lupin the Third is like one of the biggest cultural touchstones for Japan.
Oh, I know because it's been running for forever. Like the vibes are there, but it's not like a direct
kind of a staple of like their culture. So like just how it works.
It's not a direct comparison. But also, I want you to remind you, Axe, this is a world premiere archetype. This was printed in the TCG first, and probably didn't show up in the OCG for like half a year to a year. Because I don't really know how that transition worked in like 2017.
Probably Fujiko's probably inspiration, but it's also just remember it to be like an homage to like the femme fatale, like
Fujiko herself is
is
an homage of several other femme fatales. I do think that comparison is probably pretty apt because Fujiko's thing is that like she's on Lupin's side as much as she's not on his side. Like she competes with his gang as much as they work together, and also they have lots of crazy up and down, on again, off again relationships. But anyway, I don't want to assume, but I would guess that Super Agent and Misty have probably banged at least once. Anyway, Misty's design is pretty down to earth. They don't do the like cool diagram background for her. Instead, we have like a dynamic hallway. This hallway is very Metal Gear Solid, but that's about our limits. Again, the wikis try to like say she's like Meryl Silverberg. Fuck no.
No,
Meryl's an action girl. Like if she was wearing a tank top and had a headband, sure.
Or
like,
if she's wearing a sneaking suit.
I'm not seeing any wiggling.
We're in normal spy stuff. I do like the one glove thing and her purse that's clearly a camera and also possibly a gun.
Yeah.
Or at least like when there's like electrified ropes, lassos kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe it's got a utility wire in it. But yeah, so that's Misty.
I do like she's also probably got like a thing throwable. It's like a necklace. She's got an earpiece. Also, she's got like the spiral hair, which means she's probably equivalently as good as actual Master Spy.
Yeah, she's got the spirals. They put those in there. So Spy Gal Misty is a dark spellcaster. Again, this is she was a little bit later, but they were already establishing that some of their cards were spellcasters. I think them saying she's dark is also supposed to be a cue that she's not as cool as everybody because Charming Resort staff was light. She's got 1,500 attack, 600 defense, and is a level 4. You would assume this is some kind of rank 4 strategy, but no, they've never actually had an Xyz monster. It's weird. But
Sorry, you feel like there'll be they'd have Xyz just to just to like I don't know the team ups.
yeah,
Honestly,
but
I feel like it'd be cool if Following Misty and Double Agent was like a thing of like representing like the enemy agency or something.
yeah, I feel sad a lot for when decks are too good because it feels like Konami doesn't give them more support. Like, Spiral was arguably at some point an impressive, a format-defining deck. So some of their cards are still on the list. So like, I don't think Konami is going to be in a rush to squeach them back out. Least of all especially because this is a world premiere archetype that I don't think Konami is as attached to as say like Sky Striker, where again clearly somebody at
That's like
Konami's Yu-Gi-Oh department likes that
Likes
story and
Nana.
is like pushing it because they've got the manga and stuff.
they really like Nanaha. But I forget. But what did Resort Staff do again?
Resort
'Cause
Staff
that's point-
has 3 effects that we covered. She can, if she's on the field, she can make a monster battling your super agent have 0 attack. If she is destroyed by a battle card effect, you summon a super agent from deck. If a super agent is sent to your graveyard while she's in your graveyard, you can banish her to return that super agent to your hand.
Like I understand why that one is not directly searchable because that's kind of the bit.
Yeah.
Because it's meant to be the front, and it has a bunch of effects that works for just being processed around. You know, I feel like, in my mind, I feel like some cards deserve to be like tagged to being like count as spiral cards, even though they're not spiral cards.
Oh
Or, like,
yeah, and
other-
especially that's
some
something
cards
Konami's
just
been way
count as they just part of the
better
archetype,
at.
but not even part of it.
Yeah, Konami's been way better about that. Raiders Knight literally says in parentheses, this card is always a The Phantom Knights and Raid Raptor card.
Yeah.
Like, Konami is willing to flex that, but they weren't yet doing that, which hurts Resort Staff a little, and I think it really hurts Spygal Misty, because if she was SPYRAL Misty, this card would be good. Like, her effect is, if this card is normal or special, declare a card type, reveal the top card. If it's that type, you draw a card. Once returned during either player's turn, you can target a super agent you control, and one monster your opponent controls, bounce back both to your hand. So, if Misty was, like, searchable and affected by other cards that target spirals, she'd be a great package. She's a valid normal
Like, I get
summon
the
because
idea.
basically, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, finish your thought.
I get the idea that because she's like all the other cards are on like she's actually not part of the organization.
Yeah. The problem is that they did this much better with Subterror, because that's split between Subterror Behemoths and Subterror Nemesises.
Yeah.
So, like, if they should have called her, like, Spiral Gal, with Gal all in caps, Misty or something, because that would still be Spiral targeted, but would show that she has a different super type, much like how they have Spiral Gears and Spiral Missions. Keeping in mind, some Spiral Gears are monsters, so, like, there was room for it, but I just don't think they were thinking about it in 2017, and it hurts this card because if Misty was actually, like, part of your archetype, she would be great. She is a valid normal. She lets you check your opponent's top deck, so even if you don't draw the card, you know what their top card is. Because, remember, you don't shuffle after you declare and reveal. It's still the same. So, this means that, for instance, if you do that effect where you normal summon her, check your opponent's top deck, you bounce your super agent and your opponent's card back, hey, you know what's on top of their deck, so you could immediately summon that super agent back if he hasn't been special already. You know? This card would be great, except that it's not in your archetype, so it's not searchable. She's a spellcaster, so it's not like you can catch her off the Rhoda you're probably running to search super agent. It's
Does
just
she
a very
mention Spiral at all in her cards?
She specifically says name check Spiral super agent. So hypothetically, if you included a leader support card,
Spiral super agent as a search,
yeah, there's some room there. But Konami is kind of like being reticent with giving this card more support. Because actually, it's funny that this guy's our first alphabetical. He is not in Master Duel yet, so we're gonna take a look at Double Agent's art.
I want to say next to Sleeper, but I just need. But I'm not probably.
We'll do a comparison with Sleeper, I think, later. And I don't know if we have really any like hard and fast lore about what's going on with this guy.
No, because it just came out like
Yeah.
a month ago.
Oh, that's a big art. Hold on, let me shrink this boy down.
Like unless it's like, but they didn't put any other Spiral cards, so it's like this just seems like one of their idea, but it's like.
It's because they released it in Japanese.
It's
This
Sleeper
was in
when
a
he was
world premiere
younger.
pack.
Oh, it's Sleeper when he's younger.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it might be young Sleeper. It could also be like an alternate. This card's name in Japanese is Spiral Double Fake.
Like double helix, yeah.
Yeah, so there's some interesting stuff. He does straight up have the same background as Super Agent, like it's showing the same tech. Briefcase,
It's also
tape
got
recorder.
Helix's hair, his skin tone. It's also got like it's got Sleeper's Master Gear.
Yes, it's got his arm, but it also has the his, sorry, Double Helix is like, not Double Helix, Double Agent, not Double Agent. Shit, fuck, these names are all too similar. Sleeper, Sleeper's darker skin tone. Sorry, unfortunately, all these like spy terms are very similar. So, yes, go ahead.
I do love the suit design.
Yeah. No, he's very dapper. Like the art direction on this
honestly,
is very good.
it just gives me the impression that it's actually just Sleeper before he basically got roided up and brainwashed by an enemy nation.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about Sleeper when we do get to him. But yeah, he's rocking out. All right, hey chat, let's play the type game again. What type is Spiral Double Agent? As we listen to the best is yet to come.
Fairy? No.
A good guess. But...
Fuck it, Beast Warrior.
Lots going on that outset.
Fiend.
Marth also guessed fiends. You guys are either you have a good memory or you're good at guessing. Yes, Spiral Double Agent is a level 4 light fiend. A light fiend. I was laughing
at fiend because I didn't think it was gonna be a fiend.
No, he's a fiend. Yeah.
God damn it.
He's got 1400 attack, 600 defense, and like I said, he's a level 4. Again, it's very weird that these guys have a lot of cards that are specifically level 4, but they have. You can play a rank 4 package in Spiral, and I do believe you did. It's just they don't have any cards that necessarily benefit from that.
I remember liking the effect of Double Agent, but mostly the fact that like it feels thematically fitting, which is like half the Spiral cards are just more thematically fitting and actually good.
Yes. So, Double Agent says if you have a Spiral card on your field or in your graveyard, again, this is another unfortunate black mark against Misty. She wouldn't count. You can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in defense position, but it cannot be tributed or used as material for a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link summon. Then both players reveal the top card of their deck. You can use this effect of Double Agent once per turn. All Spiral monsters on the field gain 500 attack, and Super Agent can attack on the field can attack directly. So yeah, Double Agent is a double agent. He goes to your opponent's board, but helps you.
He becomes basically dead weight on your opponent's field.
Yes, he is unremovable. You don't even have to attack over him, because you can just use Super Agent to attack directly, and you've got 500 attack. So like,
isn't there stuff you can do to make the your Super Agent attack twice and hit harder?
Yes, I do believe so. We're going to talk about the gears and stuff later. They have, like I said, Super Agent is kind of your Bujin Yamato equivalent. He is your key piece, and your cards that supplement him, have his name on the field type shit. So, this is a way to like block up your opponent's zones and give you a weird, funny OTK tool. Does it work?
He's
Probably
really
not.
Yeah,
but it's
like
it
gives you an opening.
Thematic. Yeah,
it gives you the opening to get the score the win.
But yeah, it's a weird one. Like I said, I like the thematics, and it's still beautiful as ever, but I hope this is a suggestion that Konami may come out with Spiral support in the future. Because I'm not opposed to that, so long as we keep down some of the weird shenanigans. Anyway, let's talk about some Spiral Gears, because not all those cards are spell trap cards. This is Spiral Gear Drone. It's a drone. He's a quad rotor. He's got little arms. He's got like 4 cameras or 5 cameras, possibly.
It's probably like relatively quiet, for what it is.
I mean, it's no pigeon, but sorry, that's a 1%er to this audience anyway. But yeah, it's a drone.
Manipulators to go in vents.
Yeah. I know it's like got that soft focus, but I like this backdrop of this like urban city. That's good. It's good backdrop. I don't really have much else to say about this drone. He is a drone.
Yeah, it's a cool drone.
Yeah. So Spiral Gear drone.
It's got like 5 eyes.
Yeah, I think it does have like, if it's got one on the back, it's got like 5 cameras, which 5 eyes is a good spy joke, because Five Eyes is a informal alliance of 5 major intelligence agencies. So, Spiral Gear Drone is a wind machine, level 1, 100, 100. 1 for 1 target. Let's go. If this card is normal or special summoned, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and place them on their deck in any order. Quick effect, you can tribute this card, target a spiral monster you control, against 500 attack for each card your opponent controls. You can banish this card, add a spiral card, and 1 spiral card from your graveyard, sorry. Target a super agent in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. Hey, so, and I think Drone has seen some time on the FL list as well. Hey, chat, I'd like to ask you a very important question. Where's the once per turn on this card?
Yeah.
No, it was before. It was like I said, it was just the edge of before they did that commonly, huh?
No, this is late Pendulum. They were doing that mostly. Yeah, I think I know why this card was put to 1. This is a machine dupe target. You could normal this guy, do all your business, possibly shuffling up your opponent's deck, and then just machine dupe this guy out and get more. Which also means, by the way, you can get its quick effect to tribute to get 500 attack for each card your opponent controls. Is not once per turn. Yes, Firewall also you get funny get now. Like this.
Maybe
this
we shouldn't
is...
have made it such a. Maybe we should not have made it. Maybe we should give it the 600 attack just to, I don't know, be smart about it.
But alas, alack, no. This card is great in this deck. Again, it's a 1 for 1 target. It's a machine dupe target. I think there are other ways to get to like level 1 machines as well. Like,
listen, as a machine conspiracy dude. Yes, I'm saying this now. As the machine dude here, despots and like other decks of basically machine weenies are designed with machine dupe in mind because despot's great with that deck.
yeah.
And dumb shit with Cyber Dragon, but we don't talk about that. I think with this one, it's not. I think it was supposed to be compatible with Quick Fix, which I don't remember exactly is, but it's supposed to overreact directly with Quick Fix, which is unfortunate. That I think because of how brokeable this was, they never made more robots.
Yeah. So Drone was in their initial wave of support in Dark Illusion, and I don't remember if Quick Fix was, but it's definitely they're designed to combo, and it's sad that they unfortunately made this card too comboable. Like, again, I talk about decks being pushed. I feel like Konami of America was trying with Spirals to, like, make a deck that would be good. They didn't quite cinch it right away. I don't think they became popular until around the Link era anyway, like, regardless of their Link 2 because of Firewall Dragon and stuff. But they were really trying, and when Konami is trying, a lot of those decks just kind of percolate under the surface until they boil over. Like, I think that's kind of how Sprite is. Like, Sprite is a deck that Konami was just like, fuck it, we're going to make all level 2s valid. You want to run level 2s? We've got a package for you.
I really like the thing they've done with like Link 2. I think they should do like a rank 3. I guess it'd be like BA, but I would like a thing where it does like rank 3s to Link 3s.
Well, BAs are inherently I know they have ways to get around it, why the BA no die, but they are inherently a xenophobic deck, so, like, there's room, I think, if you made it that way to do some weird 3-engine stuff, yeah.
I know they can't do, like, Link 1 cards, because that'd be too good. Also, it's not kind of pointless anyway.
Yeah.
Unless you do a thing where, like, basically it's a rank 1 that can use a Link 1 as a material.
Yeah, I think you could do it the Xyz way, but you'd have to be careful about what Link 1 you did. It would have to be something like not all Link 1s are broken, but you have to be very careful. Rock of the Vanquisher is a very good example of, like, how you make a balanced Link 1. That card is essential for your deck, but the fact that it says it can't be used as Link material is very important.
Oh yeah, also
like
Charlemagne brings up Charlemagne, which is still one of my favorite cards. Actually,
no, that's
I think
that's a
make
great
more
concept
cards like
as well.
that.
Yeah,
they need to make more things like that, where it's just like Link 1s. They're just very specific.
Yeah, so, like, there's room for that kind of shenanigans, and we'll see. Konami is definitely trying some different design phases right now. It does kind of feel like, though, that at least until, like, the sets of this year are done, which is going to be very soon, but we're in a big nostalgia phase right now because it's the 25th anniversary. So we'll see if we get some more funny stuff.
A little bit, but I honestly think they should make more Link 1s that are just based off, like, basically super forms of other cards, but very specifically require like very specific presets. Like you could make a link version of Zark because it would require like a pre-pendulum summoned Zark to do it.
That actually, I mean, that doesn't necessarily make sense from a lore perspective because Zark predates links, but that would be a very funny way to give Zark a link as like, hey, this is a link 1 Zark. You have to, you have to material 1 pendulum summoned Zark monster or something. Because now there are multiple Zarks, obviously. We have the light mode and we have synchro mode. Anyway, this is our next one. This guy came out in the same set as Misty, so this is Maximum Crisis. This is about a year later. But this is Spiral Gear Last Resort.
Ironically, you can see the order of events of this card.
Yeah. There's an alert, and you can see the power gauntlets from Sleeper. Yeah,
this is, I think, just after the card where they go to fight Sleeper, actually, because this thing's like in the shell, in the wall.
Yeah, he's getting his last resort. This is we are no longer being sneaky spies. We are being punchy spies. So we have a power.
Get away
from
her, you son of a bitch!
It is a little bit.
Also, looking at the thing, it also looks like it's kind of like dusty. Like this thing is like an experimental thing that never got commercialized.
I think it actually might be a little beat up. Like, look at this arm. Those look like fist marks. Like I think he's been blocking and Tough has been punching this robot a lot. But yeah, we're in Last Resort. Shit's a little fucked. So, Last Resort is an Earth Machine level 4, 1k, 1k. You can target a Spiral monster you control. Equip this card from your hand or field to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, the equipped monster can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and your opponent can't target it with card effects. Fuck you. Once per turn, soft once per turn, if this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, you can send one other card you control to the graveyard. The equipped monster can attack directly this turn. Yeah, Last Resort's another card that's just good to have because it's got an effect from hand or field. It is an Earth Machine, so there's, some other generic support lines you can probably make that work on. And just equipping it to your guy makes them untargetable and indestructible. That's real hard to deal with. Like, I strongly suspect... Actually, no. This was only 2017, so I don't think we would have hit Resort yet. Marth can double-check for me on the timing. The regular Resort. I assume there's a pun with this being called Last Resort because it is both his last resort and also it's like the last line of defense of the resort. But there's a lot of fun here. But yeah, this is a card you're absolutely like... You're running 3 Super Agent because a lot of your cards name-check him. You're probably running as many drone as you're allowed, and you're probably running, maxed out Last Resort because it just makes your boy better. All right, well, let's talk about the big boss, the problem lady herself. SPYRAL Master Plan. I would say it's weird from the front. I feel like her face almost feels like a little off model.
It is a little, but
I don't know if
as someone that has glasses that aren't really exactly symmetrical on your face, it feels like that.
Yeah, that's probably what the artist was going for. But yeah, this is Master Plan. She's got a very fancy uniform, I guess. It's kind of funny that it's funny to me that obviously SPYRAL Master Plan. This is supposed to be like M, especially because most of the people playing Yu-Gi-Oh probably were growing up in the Dame Judi Dench M era because that was both Pierce Brosnan and probably all of Daniel Craig. I think he's actually done with Bond movies now. Like he's done for realsies. He always says he's done after they finish filming the movie because the stunt work and shit makes him feel like he wants to die.
Understandable.
Okay, first band list of 18. Okay, so I could see them packing in Last Resort, but I don't know when that card would have been designed, But yeah, so it's funny that obviously this is supposed to be like an equivalent to that to the female M, but she's like, I don't know if I would say she's hot because she doesn't really seem like a fan service character either. Like she's not quite as cute as Charming Resort Staff. Or I think even, Misty showing a little bit of cleavage with her mole supposed to be a little...
I just think I think we'd say she's an attractive professional woman.
Yes, she's still an anime woman. So, it's funny. And she also apparently has a thing about hamsters or mice, because she's got, like, a pencil cap, and she's got a little bobble on her
That's such a thing of, like, just some ladies just have... Or I think it's just, like, that's a I've seen that just when I've played Persona games, where just like that's just a thing where you just have like mascot.
I mean, hell,
trinkets
that was
for,
a
like your stationery.
a thing. This is a weird
Makoto,
reach
yeah.
for me, but I mean, yes, for Makoto, but also that was one of Yoshikage Akira's weird quirks that he got made fun of for having a weird mascot nail clipper, and then he blew up those people.
Yeah.
Don't make
The guy's
fun of
very
weirdos
particular
for
about his
having weird
nails.
mascot things.
I'll make fun of this weirdo for her hair. God damn.
Yeah, she's got like the craziest hairdo in the world. Quick Fix must have built a robot to do that every morning.
It's like she went, I want a beehive, and then went halfway through. No, never mind.
I just see this. So I've just been watching a bunch of retrospectives of like TV shows and a lot of spy TV shows, and
Hey,
I
that's,
just
you know,
weirdly
Buddha
feel like there's a thing if they walked into the base, there's just a thing that like there's like a bug in the entrance that just spirals your hair up, and that just became a thing for like the crew.
Yeah, as like an
Like
old
the,
get
the
smart
weird
joke.
like a weird what is it?
Find your words.
He's working on it.
It's not decompression. It's
Decontamination.
decontamination chamber, but like it's a bug, so it spirals your hair up.
Yeah, you go in the chem wash to make sure you've got no radio bugs or nuclear waste on you, and it just spins your hair, and everybody's just like, "Yep, that's the joke." Once an episode. I want to say, Master Plan is a great office. We talked a lot about backgrounds in Witchcrafter last week. This is a good office. Like, she's got a tablet, she's got some books, some computers, some monitors. She's got a little desk light. She's got a little thing of, I think that's bamboo back there.
She has a proper looking chair. As I stare at the chair I'm sitting on, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good office chair. And the like, it's a little weird, especially with her, business casual short skirt. Not like a mini skirt, but that's definitely a short skirt. That's higher than her knees. But she has the like, military uniform, button across top. But it's good. It's a good look.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Interesting enough, her name in Japanese is Spiral Grace. So an interesting kind of naming convention they're going for there. Master Plan was part of their second wave of support. Yeah, part of their second wave of support and Invasion Vengeance. So yeah, we worked through a few waves. Martha's talking about them being hit in like 2017 and 2018. So yeah, spirals were good in late Pendulum and then got good again in the Link era. To put that in perspective. So Master Plan is a level 7 spellcaster, Dark. Interesting that she's also a Dark spellcaster. I don't know if that's just a theme we're going for with the ladies or, what. But like I said, she's called Spiral Master Plan, so she's a Spiral and Misty is not. She has 1200 attack and 2800 defense, so I guess she's gone to the Madame Vare school. Once per turn. Soft once per turn. You can add a Spiral mission card from your deck to your hand. If this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, add a Spiral Resort and a Spiral Monster from your deck to your hand, except Master Plan. Use each effective Master Plan once per turn. So, Master Plan seems like she's a pretty normal... Like, she's not even a boss monster. She is the boss, but she's not a card that you would, use as your finisher. She wouldn't have a finisher rank on Master Duel. Yes, that's a feature they added. Where now they show you how highly rated your card is as finishing a deck. Will this change how they do the ban list? Probably not. It's when you summon an important card, it now, in addition to its usage rate, it will display that card's finisher rank, like how popular that card is as basically the last card played before your opponent gives up or loses. So it's a funny one, but yeah. So the important thing to note is Master Plan has a loosey-goosey summoning condition. Like her effects are her second effect is a hard once, but her first effect is a soft. The main issue is that, as discussed, that you have a lot of ways to like interact with your graveyard. Magician's Souls sends a level 6 or higher spellcaster to summon itself, or to send itself to the graveyard to summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. So obviously, Magician Souls, you're supposed to send DM or DMG and then summon them back. But also, you can just get a free level 1 Link material on your board who's a Dark Spellcaster and put Spiral Master Plan in your graveyard for if you need anything. Now, that doesn't trigger her search effect. She's only one she's sent from the field. But it does get in your graveyard where you can start doing stuff because she's now, you know, out of your deck so you don't brick on this weird level 7 lady. And, you know, you've gotten free, you know, Link material in that you've summoned Magician Souls. So, honestly, I don't really know. Like, was it a, like, super consistent FTK or something we were playing off of the Magician Souls summon? I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
The TCG could probably go for unhitting her because literally every Spiral card is unhit right now, but we'll see. But let's pull up your boy. Probably the best case of comparing to a Metal Gear, it's Quick Fix. So, like... Oh, I see. The OCG still has Quick Fix at 1. That's their stopper. Quick Fix is also from the Dark Illusion. So Quick Fix and Drone came out in their first wave. So obviously Quick Fix, especially with them giving him a Q name, is supposed to be Q. In Japanese, by the way, he's just Spiral Genius, because that makes perfect sense. But with his dork glasses and his hairstyle, and the white lab coat, this does give me strong Otacon vibes.
Yeah.
Like, he's got that same, like, messy hairstyle. Later versions did not give Otacon the opaque nerd glasses, but in the original MGS, they were absolutely modeled that way because how low poly it was. Like, this is definitely, like, I feel like the designers were getting a little cheeky. But he does also have a Q in his name, so definitely he's Q.
Feels like he's a few seconds away from asking if love can bloom on the battlefield.
Quick Fix would say this is just like my Japanese animes. By the way, they say animes instead of anime because there was no, like, official Japanese guidance on the English localization of the original Metal Gear Solid. They were just winging it and genuinely didn't know how pop culture would pluralize anime. It was 1996, y'all.
What's the plural of anime? Anime.
Yeah.
What?
Because it's a loan word, you know. Japan doesn't usually really pluralize the nouns. It's usually there's a verb tense to, like, let you know it's plural. Or you use additional words. But yeah. Quick Fix is just a guy. He's got a lot of computers. That's cool. He's got a screwdriver. It's not Sonic. We're not playing Time Thief.
Nope. Not today.
He is being the kind of gremlin you would expect from a super spy genius because he has just put all his shit on the floor because that means he has more space.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't keep them that way, but I've definitely, when setting up computers and consoles and shit, had them just on the floor to figure stuff out because I didn't have enough space for everything. But yeah, he's just a guy. He builds their spiral gears. Master Plan gives them the orders. And some guys we're going to meet later do the field work. So what Quick Fix does that made him limitable, and again, still limited in the OCG, he is an Earth Machine level 1. So he is also a 1-for-1 target. But he has 500 attack and 400 defense, which I believe is Machine Dupe 500 exactly. I think it is. Yes, 500 or less. So he is also a Machine Dupe target. Yes, you can. Souls lets you pitch up to 2 spell traps to draw 2 cards. And like we said, Spiral loves the graveyard, so yeah, okay. That's probably very nasty, yeah. Anyway, so both of their machine type, you know, level 1 monsters are 1-for-1 targets and machine dupable. So this is why Quick Fix is still limit 1.
Yeah, just get that out of here.
Because if once again, if he's normal or specialed, you can add a Spiral Gear. That is not a once per turn. Konami was like, there's no way to special summon multiple machine monsters in one turn. Oh, wait. This card is from 2005. Shit. Also, if
It's
this card's in
always
your
the old
graveyard
cards.
and you control Super Agent, you can discard a card, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So it does have an inherent reborn effect. But again, you don't need to worry about that. You can just search everything you fucking want with this guy, and it's again, this is definitely like again talking about push archetypes. I think Konami was trying to aim for some Infernity type shit here. They're like, what's the harm in no once per turn? Not even a soft once per turn. It's only on normal or special. Guys, you made this guy a machine. And an Earth Machine at that? You know there's like 9 billion ways to special summon this card? So yeah, no. Quick Fix is absolutely a card you fucking max out on. Whatever your maximum number of legal targets is, you play that many. And, because he just searches you the good shit. Also, yes, leaving the field, you can turn him into Xyz material so you can do rank 1 basic shit. So, I have to step away again, but I will leave you with the art of Sleeper, so you guys can think about this boy. I'll be right back.
But will it make it be muted and deafened? Oh, he's muted. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, oh.
Oh, wonderful.
Don't worry, Axe, we have a Kuma at home.
Oh
I can't think of any other
my god.
character.
Hey, look at his pants. It's Sleeper. Or no, it's Double Agent, but he's just way fucking older.
You sure it's the same guy?
Yeah, the background, the arm, same clothes. It's just that was back to when that was like a long time ago. It's like he bulked the fuck up.
So you're telling me he basically went from the first episode of JoJo to the second episode of JoJo.
I mean, it was probably like decades of shit, and he also got
Next you're gonna tell
brainwashed
me
and like
that-
roided up.
Next, you're gonna tell me that this man is actually a 17-year-old boy?
No, he's probably in his 50s.
I know, I'm making a JoJo joke. A joke, if you will.
Of course.
Guys, we're gonna make it get back. Axe is no fun to make jokes at.
Oh.
He doesn't reciprocate the jokes. That's right, suffer.
I
Oh,
just
it's
feel
cold in
shame
chat.
now.
You should. Shame.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah!
I had to take a bio break and stretch my legs, but it's cold out there.
Save me.
It's like, oh, it is actually, this is Double Agent, but just decades later.
Yes, so I was gonna. That's what I was thinking about stuff. So,
I noticed it from the background in his pants, actually.
yeah, I mean it's the same. It's the same outfit that that Double Agent was wearing. So, Double Agent, they try to like make comparisons to characters like Revolver Ocelot. I think the fact that they added young him as Double Agent makes that work a lot better, because he's like young and hot, and then he's old and ripped, and now he's got 2 punch gloves. Though I do notice that you can see that some of his gear, they've removed the SPYRAL logo. So we know from the lore that SPYRAL Sleeper, whose name in Japanese is SPYRAL Vortex, weird, but we know that he is supposed to be. I know it's about spirals, but it's still an odd one because Master Plan was Grace. Anyway, Sleeper is Super Agent's mentor and teacher, who was captured and brainwashed by the rival organization. Also, he is another light fiend, so that is also that Double Agent is definitely supposed to be him when he was young and hip and doing Super Agent's job. But
What up to you, man? You used to be cool.
yeah. So yeah, that's basically what we know about that story there. So Sleeper is a level 8 light fiend. He's got 2,800 attack, 1,200 defense, so the opposite stat line from Master Plan. He is your big punch-up possibility. He can't be a normal summoned or set. He must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 spiral cards from your graveyard, and can't be special summoned other ways. Once per turn during either player's turn, target a spiral card you control and up to 2 cards your opponent controls. destroy them. So he's got a Scrap Twin. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many cards you control as possible, but if you do, summon one Super Agent from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Yeah, so this guy is your big puncher. Definitely, I've seen Spiral decks who just go to sleeper beats when the chips are down. He is kind of like your deck's equivalent of a dad or other, like, you know, you need graveyard setup to go out there. But it's just 3 Spiral cards, so you can banish field spells you've used up, you can banish spell traps you've used up, you don't even need to hit monsters. Though, again, this is another unfortunate mark against Misty, because she doesn't banish herself from graveyard like Charming Resort Staff does, and cannot be banished for sleeper. Again, kind of like showing us how the deck very rapidly outpaced their original funny design joke with Misty.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't there, and like she was very early, so obviously they were trying to do something cute with her, and then as the design for this archetype kept going, they were like, "Oh shit, this is not gonna work." But yeah, Sleeper is just he's your Hail Mary, he's your haymaker. He is, as I said, a Scrap Twin. You can pop one of your own Spiral cards to pop 2 cards your opponent controls. If he's destroyed, you know, by battle or card effect, you can you blow up your board, but then you instantly go into Super Agent from anywhere, hand, deck, or graveyard, so it doesn't matter where he is. And several of your other cards can presumably proc off being destroyed or sent to graveyard.
This is another weird one, but you mentioned, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, Dual Logs, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know why, but looking at his gauntlets make me think that those are just going to turn into 2 of the spiders he uses.
They are kind of the same color scheme.
They're just going to like, and just crawl away.
Yo, can we get a retrain of drone that's called Spider Drone? It'll be on theme. All right. Let's hit up our last boy in the group. It's Spiral Tough. Tough is obviously the muscle. He's got very similar setup to Super Agent, but his hair's not as spirally. He's only got like one little spiral flaky. And he does look more buff. He's ready to punch. His name in Japanese is just Spiral Toughness.
It is just Spiral and then a descriptive word.
Yeah.
In Japanese, I guess.
So, yeah, this is Tough. We don't have anything else to say about him. Because he is just kind of like Super Agent, but buffer.
He's got that Hank Hill looking ass.
He does have a little bit of Hank Hill ass.
Like, he's just Spiral's coworker that probably used to be a quarterback.
Yeah, he's definitely built like a football player.
Yeah.
So,
he'd be that guy in the cartoon who would be like, yeah, secret spy shit. No, I know, he's fucking Ryuji. He'd be like, I'm a secret spy, and everyone's like, shut the fuck up.
And then he punches them. But so Tough is our another one of our cases where again we reiterate that hey, you really need to Spiral Super Agent. So here's what you do: Spiral Tough is a Wind Warrior level 4, 1900 attack, 1500 defense. This card's name becomes Super Agent while it's on the field or in the graveyard. So when sent to the graveyard, it counts. Once per turn, declare a card type.
That's good.
And target a card your opponent controls. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. If it's the revealed card type, you destroy the card you targeted. So he is pop any card. He becomes a good normal because obviously you have a special summon check on Super Agent. He counts as super on field and graveyard. He has the roughly similar stat line. I think he might have a little bit more defense, but he's got the same attack as, Super Agent. So all of your cards that name check Super Agent on the field work. Though it's funny, I don't remember if somebody joked about it earlier, but I was thinking earlier with Spy Gal, it would be very funny if they made Spy Gal its own actual sub-archetype that, like, works together, and do, like, a Charlie's Angels type thing, just, give me all the girl spies. But, after we've had some trials and tribulations, it does seem like things are going to work out for our Spirally boys, though. Oh yes, so Mark did say that earlier. Thank you. I was like, I I should have brought it up right away when it came up on chat, but I didn't, so I've lost it. Yes. This is their Link Monster Double Helix. So, I think this is showing us that things work out okay because this is one of the latest cards in the timeline. You know, this came out in the Link era because it's a Link 2. And it shows Super Agent and, Sleeper back-to-back like broskies. What are they doing together? I don't know, but they're hitting the back-to-back pose. Also, it lets you show how fucking huge Sleeper is.
Yep.
Look at him. And he's cheeked up. He does not have Hank Hill ass.
It's weird
Hello,
how it's
I've come here from Baki the Grappler.
Go ahead, Axe, please.
you take his coat off, so yeah, it's like, yeah, so it was like back when, like, I guess his thing, and then
I feel like I don't. Let me double check if they did actually show this.
I was hoping that they could do like Young Master Plan too, but that's just
no.
Eh.
Just call her Spiral Plan.
Yeah, no master plan, just plan.
I mean,
Drawing
that would
stuff in
work. The TCG would have incentive to do that, so you could create a master plan retrain. But again, I don't know.
Nah,
where we're
clearly
going.
they. Fuck it. Just for shits and giggles, Spy Kids. It's just the Spirals, but as kids, all trying to be super spies.
I mean,
Oh,
like, you already
that's
got, like, at least, you already have Super Agent younger, because
Wait,
it's
they're
like, you can
younger?
see here, because, yeah, they're both younger, because you can see Spiral's hair. Like, Super Agent's hair is, like,
yeah, Super
actually
Agent's
not-
hair is smaller. I could see that. Yeah, it's hard to
Also,
tell.
Sleeper's hair is not as long.
So I guess it is supposed to be them. This is when Sleeper is
This is
teaching
before he
him.
disappeared. Yeah.
Before the Troubles.
But yeah, I mean, there's still room to flex out. But yeah, they're doing a back-to-back pose. I think Axe said earlier that he's got his jacket off. He kind of has his jacket off, but also it looks like there's some tears in the seam. So I don't know if he like.
I know, he's holding it off in his other hand.
Yeah, but his seam is there, so I don't know if like his jacket got torn up and that's why he's took it off, or if he's just halfway to a Yakuza pose.
I have no idea.
But remember, you got to take your shirt off, not just your jacket.
Oh, now you're just trying to make you picture Sleeper in the Yakuza like boss fight intro thing.
I mean, it works. Spiral Sleeper. What's the fucking the little sting when you start up a fight in Kiwami?
I don't remember.
There's a little guitar sting. Anyway, Double Helix is an Earth Warrior Link monster. It's a Link 2, but it's got 1900 attack. Its material is 2 Spiral monsters exactly. So you'd think this card wouldn't be a problem, right? It's just, it's completely in archetype.
Wrong.
No, once again, when knowing things are good. This card's name becomes Super Agent while it's on the field or in the graveyard. So all of your Super Agent stuff applies to Double Helix. You can declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card. If the type matches, you can take a Spiral monster from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or summon it to a zone this card points to. Now, admittedly, this is a Link 2, but it's got L-shaped arrows. It's got the left and bottom. So it's not like the 2 diagonal corners, which would probably make that effect, like, really broken. But yeah, this card's just a free Link 3 in Spiral decks. You can only use this effect of Double Helix once per turn. But yeah, no. Double Helix is just a crazy extender, because if you're doing things rightly, you have already been able to peep the top card of your opponent's deck several times. So you can just summon whatever the fuck you want from deck. And as we all know, summon from deck is usually pretty broken.
Yes.
Obviously, it's ashable, so like there's limits to this. But again, you've had like several times to ferret out what your opponent is doing. And because you summon a guy, if that guy is himself an extender, as I remember that you can pop a spell trap with regular Super Agent if you special summon him with a Spiral effect.
Can you imagine? Sorry, but
Go ahead.
if you're the one being like fucked up by Spiral, and the top card they keep showing you is Ash Blossom.
Oh, that would be so mean. That's how I feel when I'm playing Nouvelle and I summon Bueria Base, and that is reveal 5, add a Nouvelle card. And on the one hand, I bet it's pretty intimidating for my opponent when I'm like, Feather Duster, Imperm, Imperm, Maxi, Field Spell. But I'm just thinking, shit, missed. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
It's like playing Pearly. Pearly Reveal 5. Come on, good kitty. No, bad kitty.
Where's my rolled up newspaper?
You've revealed no archetype cards. Rip. All right, well, now it's time to talk about the Spiral Gears that are spell traps. Yes, Spiral Gears are both spell traps and monsters, which is pretty interesting. But they've got a few. And again, I would like to reiterate, Big Red, not the cardboard box. This is definitely a James Bond supercar. That said, this is a pretty cool, like, cyberpunk car. He's got 6 wheels, and, like, some fucking neon lights. I also, by the way, agree with Keelan's theory. There should be like a home base Link 2 that's like master plan plus quick fix.
I kind of really want. I kind of want like there to be like someone else for a weird thing with Spy Gal, just like another card, so you have like a rank 4 that it's just her and someone else. But
Oh yeah, no, like I
guess,
said,
like,
we've
enemy
joked
agents.
about a sub archetype for like Spy Gals. That would be cool. Give me a
Hold on.
Spy Gal with a giant rifle, so they can be Sniper Wolf and or Fortune. That it's
Two
actually a
things I
Metal Gear
wanna
reference.
say against this card is 1, 6 wheels.
It's a little weird, but you know it's cool.
Well, I think it's entirely meant to be front wheel drive.
2, why does it feel like the green like bars in the center there will look like they go up and down as he's playing music?
It
Like
does
it's
kind of look like
blasting
some kind of
something.
visualization
I
bars.
also
I don't know
think
what
the
those are
car
for.
can separate into multiple things.
It might be a transformer, but I don't know. Anyway, he's driving fast. You can tell he's driving fast because it's super blurry.
Drone's up there too.
But yeah, the drone is there. But yeah, this is just Big Red. Big Red, though. This is a card that has been available since this launched. It is an equip spell card. Activate this by targeting a spiral in your graveyard. Special summon it. Equip it to this card. It can't be destroyed by battle. You can activate Big Red per turn. That's right. They just have a Foolish Burial. A Foolish Burial that's searchable. It is a hopped, but it doesn't cost it. So yeah, again, this is why we talk about like spirals. Spirals are a deck that loves the graveyard. They love graveyard setup and to move themselves out of the graveyard. They would probably explode if Exorcister looked at them funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pre-mat. They also have Foolish Burials. They've got a lot of burials. But that's very funny to me to think of James Bond being beat up by a bunch of, teenage nuns. Entirely different media reference. But yeah, so Big Red is just a good card. You're probably going to max out on Big Reds as well. Because it's like, what do you do, man? It's a phenomenal little, revival trick. And you've got so many ways to bin stuff.
Yeah.
We also have another equip card. This one came out during the 2017 Maximum Crisis Go, but this is Spiral Gear fully armed. So this is our boy Super Agent being equipped with one of Spiral's punch gloves.
Good old Sleeper's punch gloves,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's dead.
He might be dead. I'm not sure.
Wait.
Master Guard says he dies breaking through the mind control.
Okay, so he does die.
Oh.
All right, yeah. So then
Also,
this
it's
is
blue now.
So yeah, yes, Sleeper is there. He find it. They break the brainwashing, but Sleeper himself is no longer part of this mortal coil. So in order to shoulder the burden of this tragedy, Super Agent equips his teacher's gauntlets. That's how you know they're good. They're blue. So yeah, this card, also by the way in Japanese they translated this as Spiral Gear Extra Arms. Extra arms. Because the Japanese love the noun arm. I don't know why. But yeah, so this is an equip card. First of all, it says equip only to a Spiral Super Agent. If only you didn't have, like, 2 cards that also count as Super Agent on the field. Weird. It gains 1,000 attack, just straight up. This means that your all of your Super Agent and Super Agent adjacent cards are 2,900 attack. So they can't beat a Blue Eyes, but they can beat most things. If it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can banish both the destroyed monster and just one other card your opponent controls. That's right. This card turns it into that one effect where you banish cards you destroy by battle, but also it's a non-targeting banish of just one other card they control. When this face-up card is on the field, is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target a Spiral Super Agent in your graveyard, special summon it. So it just floats back into Super Agent. Yeah. Again, these cards are searchable as fuck. This is annoying as hell. It's all like just real good shit. And this is why a lot of their cards say they count as Super Agent, because, otherwise. Oh, this card has got a great art. We're about to pull up Utility Wire because it actually shows you some of the guys they fight, and this is James Bond as hell. So this is Utility Wire. Look at this. Look at this Dr. Evil ass looking ass. He's got a purple scarf and a white suit and a bald head. Look at him. Look at this nerd.
And some mooks down there.
Yes, there's some very generic mooks who've been tied up.
Sorry, seeing this mooks reminds me of the fucking skit from Austin Powers, which is no one thinks about the life of a minion after each time they brutally murder one of them.
Yeah. Apparently these Utility Wires, pull up pretty compact because he's already used one of them and he's got two more in his belt. Tough does. But yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, no. Hopefully the effect is good.
Oh, yes, no. Utility Wire, called color. Spiral Gear Multi-Wire in Japanese, or Marchiwaya. This is a normal trap that says if you control a Spiral Super Agent, target a face-up card your opponent controls, place it on top of the deck. You only activate Utility Wire once per turn. That's right. They gave them an in-archetype searchable Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Brutal.
Nice.
Yeah, Utility Wire is a great card. Again, all these are searchable. You can search the gears multiple ways, and they're good. I think all Spiral gears are good. Now, the Spiral missions, I believe, are a little more loosey-goosey, but they do have some utility. They tend to be continuous cards. So let's pull this one up. All right, so we've got... this is Spiral Mission Assault. This card art is censored for some ungodly reason. So in the original Japanese art, or at least I assume the OCG art, this came later. Yeah, this was Invasion Vengeance. So did this get printed first? No, so that's really weird. They spiced this up in Japanese then. But in the Japanese art, the fist in the bottom corner has brass knuckles.
Yeah, I can see why America wouldn't remove that.
Yeah. But these guys have Tonfas that they're trying to fight Super Agent, but he's absolutely botting them. That
You
said...
know what this gives the feel of?
Yeah, what?
That one elevator scene from Captain America 2.
If anybody wants to get off, now's the time. I would also say this is absolutely some fucking like a dragon ass stuff. There's a bunch of dudes in suits who have weapons for some inexplicable reason. You're just gonna beat them all up. Yeah, that's like a dragon. Anyway, Assault. First of all, Assault says, Spiral Mission Assault says, destroy this card during your third end phase after activation. It's a continuous spell card. Once per turn, if a Spiral monster you control destroys a monster by battle, or if you destroy cards on the field with a Spiral monster's effect, you can draw a card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a Spiral from your hand. So yeah, this card is great to put in your graveyard. This card is great to not put in your graveyard because it just gives you even more drawing consistency. This is another reason why I think Spiral is a very strong deck, even with limits and hits for the most part, because it has a lot of draw power. A lot of ways to search and to draw. Not like, Sky Striker consistent, but again, very consistent deck. Very solid choice. All right, so let's pull up our next card art, our second mission. This is the thumbnail art, but we'll pull it in a slightly better resolution. This is Mission Recapture. So, first of all, Misty looking evil as fuck.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
They're doing the shadow thing in her hand, and she's calling on the phone, and her phone is red. but they've captured the disc. You can see, the whole squad in the group and the minions.
Yep, that was the guy with the purple scarf from earlier.
Yep. There's the big bad guy, and they've got the data disc, but they don't know they're in danger. So recapture is a continuous trap card. Destroy this card during your third end phase after activation. Once per turn, if a spiral monster special summoned to your field, target a monster your opponent controls until the end phase. It can't take control of it, but it can't attack directly. If a spiral monster you control will be destroyed by card effect, you can banish the card from your graveyard instead. Recapture, again, a great card. It's mind control. You have to special summon, but your deck's really good at that. And then, actually, our last card for the night. We've only gone for about an hour and a half. Kind of showcasing, what the Bad News Bears is. It's Mission Rescue. So you can see the last resort in the glass case there. And SPYRAL is fucking stealing Quick Fix.
You mean Sleeper?
Sorry, Sleeper, yeah.
You've called him Spiral twice now. I
know, but it's because it starts with an S, and I remember his name is Vortex.
I just like the tough, just like getting ready to okay, I'm just gonna fuck.
Just square up.
Yeah, he's like, all right, let's throw hands.
And it looks like just special super agents is like open, like clicking the button.
Yeah, he's pushing the button. Hold on, I need this. And Quick Fix is just absolutely doing some video game ass. Help me! Super agent, you gotta help me. He's perishing.
I'm being stolen.
Yeah,
help.
Yes, help, I'm being stolen. So Rescue is another continuous trap. It is also destroyed during your third end phase after activation, like all the other missions. Once per turn, soft once per turn, target a spiral monster in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a spiral in your graveyard, summon it. So Rescue is the card we talked about earlier that makes Master Plan and the Magician's Souls combo broken as fuck, because you can send the Rescue off souls to draw and then banish it from your graveyard to get back Master Plan after bidding her. So all of the missions are really good. They all have graveyard effects, which is good for continuous traps, especially because they destroy themselves. But also just, this lets you recycle from your graveyard. So, in general, SPYRAL is a very consistent strategy. It's very searchable. I think the only thing that's holding it back, other than, yes, they did do Double Agent, who's cute, but he's not going to, break the deck. Though definitely, I think he has uses. For instance, if you're playing against Kashtira, which you aren't, but if you were, Double Agent absolutely ruins their entire game plan. He can't be tributed, but then you control a monster. Honestly, there's other decks that kind of fucks up too, a lot of decks that require specific controls, Burning Abyss has that xenophobic thing we talked about. There's a lot of cards that require you to control no monsters, Cyber Dragon has a lot of interplay with that. So it's a cute blocker, but that's a side deck tech. But I think there's still a lot of potential in SPYRAL. I don't know if we'll ever see it. I'm glad they acknowledge it exists, but it has a lot of issues that I think a lot of archetypes fall from, which is, one, I feel like, Konami doesn't know how to advance storylines that they didn't write. Okay, so Sleeper got called on them, but he died, and, Super Agent has his gauntlet. Well, we could, retrain Super Agent again with the gauntlet built in to kind of have a stat line similar to Sleeper. There's a lot of time stuff going on. We've got several different time frames, so you could do, younger Master Plan like we talked about, younger Misty maybe, before she became, an actual Double Agent.
Or you could just see her actual, the people she reports to, or I guess the various groups that she's sold her services to.
You could make Spy Gal its own thing, as we discussed earlier. There's other missions I think you could do. There's other gears probably you could do, and there's retrain potential because, like I said, Quick Fix has seen the ban list, Drone has seen the ban list. Quick Fix is still limited in the OCG. Master Plan is banned in the TCG, but unlimited in the OCG. So there's room for you to work some stuff here that they just haven't, and I, wish they would give more nods. There are probably archetypes that are hurting more, but like there's genuine room for expansion here that's different than just what if we gave them a floodgate. And this is where we're at. So's, next week we'll be back to deck build packs, unless they throw another solo mode at me. That they haven't already. They did. They added Gen X, so we did those already a long time ago. Speaking of dual terminal archetypes, it does seem like Master Duel is going to do more dual terminal stuff, though. They gave dual terminal world a super category similar to what they did with World Legacy. So you can access Allies of Justice and Gen X from there, so we might see some more of those. Probably means we won't see the Albaz one for a while, but we can hope.
Hope and cope.
Master Duel is doing some interesting 25th anniversary stuff. There's a login event going on right now. You guys should log in for a few days to get access to some bonuses and some gems. There's a big bundle for the alt art of Ra and some cards. They added a triple tack Master Pack bundle, which I did purchase. Because Triple Tactics Talent's a good card that I hadn't made yet, because I never have enough fucking UR dust.
You will never have enough.
No, because they won't sell it to me directly, and I won't buy gems for card packs because I can not get URs from them. Not that I haven't had bad luck. I think I got a second Harpy's Feather Duster I couldn't use, and one copy of Change of Heart, which I didn't have before, also from that set of master packs I opened for triple tack, so like it was a good time. They did add a secret pack, which is just raw stuff and also the Ishizu cards that you can't play anymore because they're all banned, but you can roll them now. So they're doing good stuff. They're being much better about secret packs and so on and so forth. I do think that Vanquish Soul has a few too many URs. I still have like 0 copies of Stake Your Soul because it's like a 3 of in the deck, but it's an ultra as well. But it and Nouvelle are doing very well. We're having a fun time. And, yeah, so, there's stuff going on. Hopefully Master Duel can once again put a kicker in. And I know that I've, like everybody else, I'm asking for them to ban Max C. Just get out of here. Please stop making me play like 4 cards to beat this fucking card. But, we be how it be. So we'll see you next time for our next deck build pack, which is, let's see, we've done all of Infinity Chasers. Oh, joy! This is actually very relevant. So, I'll let you guys decide. It's Mystic Fighters. So we've already done Dragon Maid, but Mystic Fighters is a super base deck build pack. All of its decks have been good, because the other 2 archetypes are Mathmech and Generator, both of which are actually relevant. So, what do you guys want to talk about first? Level 9s or Math?
As much as I do love Mathmech, I think the design of the generators and like the things behind it is more interesting.
I think, yeah, because then we also could probably, honestly, if we do Generator, we should do Runic immediately afterwards.
Just because of that one slight card art?
No, Runic and Generator are connected. The Generators are the
Oh.
bosses you beat up in the Runic video game.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can mention the Runic monsters and show maybe some of the connected card arts. Runic is basically Skyrim, so like a lot of it's just first-person shots of something. I mean,
honestly, I think it's more like, I take it more of like a fucking Daggerfall, or what was the third one? Like Whirlwind, honestly?
It's true, it might be, but it's a...
Yeah,
I joke about Skyrim,
like,
one, because Skyrim is
Morrowind is
everywhere,
fun.
but also because it is vaguely Nordic, obviously, being in the same realm as Generator. But yeah, no, it's a first-person RPG where you hold a knife in one hand and a rune in your other hand, so it's very Elder Scrolls in general. But yeah, we can probably mention a few of the interesting connections there, but we'll do that next time then. So stay tuned for Generators, because that is actually relevant. Generators got a top
You mentioned
recently.
Morrowind. I've got all the dig of fucking AI voice stuff appearing in my head now.
Come, Nerevar.
Come. What do you mean you haven't played D&D before?
God. I mean, I prefer the Dagoth Ur shit to like the stuff with president voices, but
Yeah.
that's also like that really blew up real big. No, I'm just thinking of the Russian Badger bits
agree with
about
Marv.
the AI bits.
Because the thing with math mechs, you can just look at them and be like, that's a mech. But with generators, I can at least put my hand to the side and go, giant snake! Look at him!
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
think
that's a
I
cool
can't remember.
version
Was
of
it?
like Jormungandr. It's a cool rendition of Jormungandr
Was
kind of thing. Yeah.
it? Did MBT
Yeah.
reply to this tweet, or did he make this? No, I think he replied to this tweet. Somebody did a tier list of the different genuses or species of Cybers monsters. One of which was just Wow Cool Robot, and that's just all math mechs. Like
it's
Cool androids, yeah.
they're just guys.
you're not wrong, but you shouldn't say it.
So yeah, we'll come back to that. But MathMech at least will be interesting because we can talk about its meta relevancy, because it has been kind of meta relevant up and down. And for some ungodly reason, Master Duel is limiting diameter, but not circular.
Weird.
Again, it's probably Firewall Dragon's fault, but he's back and bigger than ever.
It's
And it's
always a
always
different. It's always a firewall dragon of some variety.
I mean, listen, we can joke about Firewall Dragon, but do go check out this month's or this 2-week period's MCS and last week's MCS. The things I Wish I Was Dead does with Adignister, Mathmex, Firewall Dragons, because they play like all the extra deck firewalls. It's some of the wildest shit I've ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! I saw that man play through a Nibiru. Like, full-blown do combo, 5 summons, get hit with Nib, and just be like, okay, bet.
And keep going.
Yeah. I believe I Wish I Was Dead is on record as saying that his version of the deck can special summon 37 times, which means that it can play through Max C. You can just deck out your opponent. I don't think any of that was captured on camera, but like, nah, you should go check out those games, chat, if you wanna. Like, that is some high level Yu-Gi-Oh being played right now, and it is pretty baller. But I'll let you guys go, because like I said, I've been having a little bit of a slow ball day myself. It's a little cold. I think I need to turn off my ceiling fan as well. And get back to my stuff. So I'll let you guys off. Tomorrow, we'll be back in Final Fantasy XIV. We can continue to be depressed in the desert.
Oh, right, yeah,
The
you lost
depressor.
that part.
So we'll have fun. And I'll see you
You're
guys
ready.
later.
You're ready for hopelessness and apathy.
Are you ready for Are you ready for the trolley problem?
I've got thoughts about the trolley. You guys weren't all up in there last night. I think Axe had family stuff, and Loth had to go early. I was the tail end of that stream is me getting increasingly annoyed as I run around in this desert and what the game makes me do when I just want to touch a fucking aetheryte, and it's like, no, you got to follow this guy through the desert because we can't like trust that you know how to walk to an aetheryte, and maybe we want you to fight some mobs, and I'm just like, why? Why are you like this, 14?
Well, it's because they make a big deal about how you get to that town, but yeah.
No, they don't. You just fucking follow a guy. Like, the fact that there is a town in the desert is a big deal, but once I've met those bozos, I should just be able to walk along this clearly marked trolley track back to the aetheryte. But no, I have to follow a rando through the desert, even though I can see the fuck... Anyway, I'm not here to yell about that. That's for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Please
That's
like, comment, and
take you like 5
subscribe. I'll
minutes.
see you next time. I mean, I've already gotten the aetheryte.
Bye.
It's just, like I said, it was me getting further and further annoyed. But Loth has said goodbye.
That's tomorrow Mega's problem.